And continuing along here, the fourth opposing Mountain West coach that's faced Boise State this year to jump on. We're very appreciative of Danny Sprinkle, the head coach at Utah State, for giving us a few minutes. I know it's busy prep getting ready for the game on Saturday night, Coach, but we appreciate your time. And how's it going today?
It's going great. Yeah, going great. We got a lot of work to do. We didn't play necessarily as well as we had hoped, and played as hard as we wanted to on Tuesday. And we have, great team coming in on Saturday that, will challenge us and see what we're made of. But first thing I'm sorry, I'm screwing up your segment. I just wanted to make sure I got this point across. We're recognizing Stu Morrill this weekend, naming the court after him.
Yes.
But I want to give credit to Tim Duryea, who's on the Boise State staff, who spent a lot of years here at Utah State as an assistant to Coach Morrill, and help really build the program into anywhere you go. When you say Utah State, they think basketball now because of the work he put in. And then he was the head coach and did a tremendous job. And I want to make sure I give credit where credit's due, because he's one of the best human beings in our business. And he means a lot. I know he's at Boise right now, and I know we're rivals, but he still means a lot to me. And I know to Utah State men's basketball program. And I'm glad that he's going to be in the arena, in the Spectrum, the night where they honored Stu, because he's a huge part of that.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, Coach, and maybe this isn't my place, but I think if he'd have been given a little more time there, he would have got it rolling there at Utah State. He's a heck of a coach, and I know Boise State's certainly lucky to have him. But you're right, all those years together, and that's going to be a special night. I mean, sellout crowd. I mean, that's going to be an emotional night for the fans, for the team, for everybody on Saturday night.
It will be, and a lot of former players. And, the Spectrum's a great atmosphere regardless. When we played at Boise was sold out. They weren't naming the court for anybody. Someday they'll name it for Leon, but it wasn't that. But, it was still sold out. And that's Mountain West basketball. But it will be. It'll be an incredible night to have Coach Morrill back in the building.
We all think it's going to be the Leon Rice family court, because you had Max, you have Cade, his wife's obviously very close, so Leon won't let us talk about it, but we always say one day he is the all-time winningest coach there. The Leon Rice and family, or Leon Rice family court, that has a nice little ring to it.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what, yeah, his sons helped win him a lot of those games too, so no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
What you guys have been rolling along so good, and I know you don't want to look back too much. We're looking ahead, but you've been rolling along so good, and obviously in this league, you knew you're going to run into really good teams and hard places to play, and every game wasn't going to go perfect. And I assume you knew at some point you were going to face a stretch like this where you lose a game or two, and you're just trying to regroup and get back on track here. I mean, how have the guys, after so much winning, to lose 2 games in a row like this? What has been the mood around the team as you guys try to right the ship a little bit here?
Yeah, it's a little on edge, and it should be. I don't think anybody's went into Viejas and won yet this year. But we have to take care of our home court, and that's what the best teams in this league do. And is it hard? No question it is. But somebody's going to do it, and that team's the team that's going to win the championship. There's still going to be stumbling blocks even in the next month. We're not going to win every game out from here on out. No team is, and so. How you handle that mentally and come back and compete each game, that'll ultimately decide, the standings in our conference. But I just haven't been happy. I don't think we're not playing very hard. And that's the biggest problem. Like, I can handle missed shots and things like that, but like effort and things like that, like that's the stuff we have to correct. And everybody's tired in February and March, and we got to be able to fight through that.
Danny Sprinkle, our guest, Utah State head coach. And I don't know. I'm not trying to screw up the interview here, Coach. I guess I'll throw it out there. But at Mountain West Media Days, I only had time to interview about 7 of the coaches, and I'm looking at the list, and you're a new coach, and you didn't have any players back, and you guys were picked near the bottom. And I'll own it. I passed on getting the chance to talk to you at Media Days. You could have easily said, screw you, I ain't doing the interview, with you on Friday. So I appreciate you coming on. Me, along with everybody else, certainly, was wrong when it came to evaluating your team this year. I know you've talked a lot about big picture stuff, but could you have imagined this early being where you are right now and tied for first place for a Mountain West title with 5 weeks to go, and everything that you've done this quickly with such a new team? I mean, how do you explain as bad as it maybe the last week has seemed, you guys are still tied for first place in a good league, and you guys have had a heck of a season.
Yeah. I think everybody in the country's surprised. I'm surprised. Nobody could have guessed this. And I've said it before, like, if you said that we would have been 19-4, like, you'd have been lying. Otherwise, you would have put a lot of money in Vegas on us. But it's, but our group is, they just they found ways to win. They found ways to come together early, and like we won some really good games in the non-conference. Yeah, they weren't Power 5 opponents, but like you look at the teams we beat, they're all winning their conferences, and San Francisco's a damn good team. At Santa Clara, damn good team. Gonzaga went into Santa Clara last time I checked and didn't win. It's a hard place to win. And so, I'm proud of our guys and how they've, more than anything, how they've just come together, and now, we hit a little adversity and now we got to really come together, Saturday with a great Boise State team coming in.
What did you guys do in Boise 2 weeks ago? And it is crazy how quickly you guys are playing them again. But what did you guys do to come in there and get that win in overtime that you need to replicate again on Saturday?
Yeah, we made some shots. We got out in transition a little bit when we got some stops. And anytime you play Boise, they're so good offensively and defensively. Like you have to play a clean game. You can't turn the ball over. You got to be able to, match their physicality. You got to be able to guard them in the post and throw different looks at them because they got a bunch of players that have seen Dagenhart's seen every type of double team you can imagine. And so like you have to mix it up and try to keep them off balance. And then at the end of the day, you have to hope they miss some shots. Which they did. They missed some shots that they usually do. So did we. But and then at the end of the day, just time ran out. Thank goodness. But and guys made plays. Their guys Dagenhart made some huge threes to even get them back in the game. Ian Martinez made a huge play. Josh Aduje. It was a great college basketball game.
Yeah. And you think about, Darius Brown, and coming into that game, he'd kind of been known for a little more of the assists and some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think he had 19 points in that game. Just he's as good of a point guard that's come into Extra Mile Arena all season in terms of some of the things that he was doing. I know Grant gets a lot of the attention and thought, but how nice is it to have a guy like Darius there running things?
Yeah, it's great. Like I said, we don't win that game without him. He was aggressive that game. We need him to continue to be aggressive and even take shots. Even if they're bad shots sometimes, like we need him to have that aggressiveness because our team feeds off him. And, but we've kind of been the sum of all of our parts all year, Great gets a lot of the attention because guys throw him the ball, but when we're really good, it's Darius, it's Ian, it's Mason, it's, Isaac Johnson, it's Josh Aduje. And when we get like 4 or 5 of those guys playing on a given night, that's when we've been our best.
I don't know if you know the history of Max Rice and the Spectrum, but the fans love Max Rice there in Logan for some reason. They got the Daddy's Boys. They'll have the Daddy's Boys sign going, and they, got on some podcast. I think him and Tyson did, and infiltrated the chat, and we had plenty of positive things to say about him, I'm sure. But what do you make of Max? He had the coach's kid. He's had an up and down year. He had the 35 against New Mexico, and he was getting a little bit of heat here in Boise earlier in the season, missing some shots. But again, 35 in New Mexico, and as I said, this is his last game coming to the Spectrum. I know he's hopefully motivated to have a big game against you guys.
It is. I think when the opposing crowd gets on you, I think that's respect. If he wasn't a good player, they wouldn't be saying anything to him. And I love his game. I really do. I think he's a tremendous player. He's an all-league guy. Like I said, they don't win that game at New Mexico without him. Some of the shots he hits, but I just think his toughness, he's really gritty. Like when he comes and fouls you, he fouls you hard. Like you're not getting an and one. Like he's got that competitive, tough prick in him. I love it. Like I said, I mean, those are the guys you love to coach, those guys that just like take stuff personal. And, I'll be glad when we don't have to play against him. I will, our fans may love harass all that. I'll be glad when he's not wearing that uniform.
Well, you got one, maybe two. I guess if it's a title game or something, you'd take that, in on the 16th of March. But Boise State, they fall at Colorado State, and now they got to turn around another road game. What'd you see from them either in that game, or maybe just what are you seeing from them right now that in terms of how they're looking coming into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the character of Boise State was showed after a tough loss when we beat them at their place, and they go 3 days later and win in the Pit, which nobody had won there this year. Like that shows a veteran, mature team that has character and toughness, like real toughness. And, I was really impressed by that. They've been playing well. They ran into a buzzsaw. Colorado State's really good too, and, especially when they're playing in Moby Arena. Like when they get going, it can get ugly like a lot of places in this league. But those guys, Colorado State made some big shots, and that can happen to anybody. I mean, I wouldn't say Boise played necessarily bad, but it's just one of those things. It's hard to win on the road.
And yeah, you mentioned the venues and stuff, but now a 4-way tie for first place in this league, Coach, with anywhere from 8 to 10 games left, depending on who's had the bye and who hasn't and stuff. But what just this league, man, I know we talk about it, but every single night it's a battle at home, on the road, doesn't matter. And I'm sitting there at Moby Arena watching this game, and I'm getting texts. Oh, do you see the Utah State score? Oh, are you seeing this New Mexico? I didn't think they'd go up and win by 20 at Wyoming. I mean, every night it's a crazy score and a crazy game. And as I said, you got, I think, 7 teams within one game of first place right now. I mean, how do you shape this thing up, and just how we keep saying how good this league is, but it's proven to be as good and as even as it's been in a long time.
No, it has. And it's hard because there's going to be some really good teams finish 6th and 7th place, because we're going to cannibalize each other. Everybody just beats each other up, and who knows, God forbid somebody, has an injury or something, but that can affect standings like it did last year at UNLV in New Mexico. Like those 2 teams were on, dang near the bubble too before they had some injuries. And so you just have to take it game by game. Like I tell, some of our local media, like, I don't even want to look down the schedule like a week or two, because it gets disheartening. Like, you're like, oh my God, we got them, and then we got them. No, just take it one game at a time. And the teams that do that and continue just to clean up a little bit of their deficiencies, like, those are going to be the teams that, that win those close games in March.
Did you realize what you were getting yourself into with this league when you came in here?
I did. Like, I'd played in a lot of these venues.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I played in every single one of these venues. Now it's different when it's a conference game.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago at Montana State, we took, New Mexico down to the last minute. Yeah. It's a whole different intensity, and the pit is different for a conference game. And even Thomas and Mack, Boise, was packed. San Diego State's rocking. And so it definitely is. It's such a well-coached league, and it's got pros on every team, and the physicality. Like, I love it, because and the refs let you play through it too, through some of that physicality. Yeah. Which I think is going to help this team and all the teams in the postseason.
Just stay off the court, Coach. No more technicals. The one in Boise there, that was I covered Boise State, but that seemed like a weak technical.
Don't be trying to get me in trouble, man.
That was a weak technical, man. I'll say it. You don't have to. With a minute left in the game, that was ridiculous. But
the only thing, and this is where Leon is way smarter than me. Leon got his early enough to where Boise got 10 straight calls and didn't commit a foul for 12 straight game minutes. If I would have known that, I would have got my tee way earlier.
Looked like solid officiating to me, Coach. No, appreciate your time as always, Danny. I'm sure the game there in Logan's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get down there on Saturday, and I know you got work to do, so we'll let you get back to that. But thanks so much, and good luck on Saturday, the rest of the season, and obviously looking forward. It's going to be a fun one on Saturday.
You bet. Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks, Danny.
You bet. Thanks, man.
Yep, we'll see you Saturday. Take care.
Yep. Travel safe.
Thank you.